What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and today, guys, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Tomb Raider. I recently saw the film, which was released this past weekend, and I really enjoyed it, guys, so I do want to talk about it. And before I do get into anything, there are going to be some light spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film, you've been warned. But without further ado, let's dive into Tomb Raider. So this Tomb Raider is starting it from scratch, completely a reboot in every sense of the word, and it is actually more based off of the newest additions to the Tomb Raider family, which were themselves reboots, where Lara Croft gets stranded on an island and has to kind of discover the evil that lies within a hidden tomb. And what we learn about this is, of course, we're taking it a step back, and we're seeing Lara and kind of what happened with her father disappearing and whatnot, and how she's basically a young woman kind of refusing to mature and kind of come into her destiny, because it's almost like kind of a Wayne Industries, Danny Rand vibe or Oliver Queen vibe, because in the film she could be amazingly rich, but she refuses to sign off on the papers to actually get the inheritance of her father's company and everything, because she feels guilty and sad, and she believes truly that he is out there. And of course, she goes into the conference room that she's supposed to sign all these things eventually after, we see her doing some kind of things here and there. And after we get a kind of taste of her lifestyle, she's going in there, she's about to sign off on the papers, and then she gets this puzzle from someone who was a confidant of her father's, and she solves it. It's a little puzzle, and she gets a key, which she eventually finds out leads her into this kind of hidden bunker panic room, if you will, with tons of research that her father conducted over the years, and a recording, of course. And in this, her father kind of leaves little things to say, destroy my research about this island, yada, yada, yada. But that really encourages her to go on this journey to this deserted island with her father's research to try and see what happened to him, and kind of to finish the research, if you will. So along the way, she meets Lu Ren, played by Daniel Wu, and they actually get shipwrecked onto the island. But even more dangers lie on the island, as they realize when Lara discovers that this group, Trinity, has actually been on the island for quite a few years, actually dating back to the disappearance of her father, because she actually makes the connection that they were in some sort of relationship with her father, and her father was actually doing them kind of this service of finding this tomb for their own nefarious needs. Her being on the island unfortunately throws this kind of series of events which causes them to actually find the real tomb, and they actually need her to help them. So she tries to help insofar as kind of doing it where she can stop whatever evil is in the tomb from actually getting out into the world and whatnot. And I thought it was a great, fantastic story just because of that. And, and now we're going to dive into some spoilers. In the story, we find out that her father was in fact alive, and that for the past several years he has been on the island. Yes, he has been alive on the island, and unfortunately there was no means of him contacting her at all. So it's really heartbreaking and everything, because, he even says, every time that I see you, you usually go away. And one of the kind of the touching things, and the things that I really liked, is the fact that they were actually able to see each other and meet each other again and get some closure out of, the absence that they have had. Now, later on in the film, Lara's father does end up sacrificing himself for the greater good to make sure that the evil that's inside of the tomb doesn't actually make its way out into the world. And I know in the first Tomb Raider film, Lara did get to meet her father and see him in kind of this purgatory, like time warp thing, but that doesn't really count to me, and I really felt like this was a lot more heartfelt and a lot more legitimate for my personal tastes. Not to mention the fact that this film actually tried a little bit more on the dramatic and, kind of suspenseful side. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great action scenes in this film too, and as a matter of fact, as I'm watching this, I'm just like, wow, I feel like I'm actually watching a video game unfold. So that's one thing I gotta give the director and filmmakers and stuff kudos for, is this actually felt like one of the games to me personally. Now, I'm not a hardcore gamer, and I'm not a crazy amazing fan of the Tomb Raider series per se, but I thought they did a great job. And in general, as a film of about a video game, whenever they're translating video games into film, I feel like one of the things that they lose and they never realize to do and to keep consistent is show us what made the game special. So that is in regards to the characters, in regards to the story. Make it relate to the game. Put a kind of original spin on it. But again, we're watching the movie because we're fans of the game. So if you don't deliver on some level of what the game had to offer, which this film did with the different puzzles and the different things that were aspects of the whole raiding of the tomb, if you will, and kind of the action aspect and kind of the suspense and the mystery, then you will fall flat if you don't deliver any of that stuff, you know? Of course, I understand it's a little tough to get that going on with certain video game properties, especially, God knows, Mario Brothers and stuff like that. But I digress. Overall, this film was a very good film. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend it to any fan of the Tomb Raider series. Definitely go and watch it. And if you like action films with a little bit of mystery, a la Indiana Jones Light, I feel like this film will be a film that you will definitely enjoy. So tell me what you thought about the film. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Leave all the feedback down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, guys, I'm Jay. Take care. Bye.